Are you planning to move to Canada or become a citizen of Canada, but you need to demonstrate a certain level of English? Did you know that you can take an exam called the CELPIP? But what is CELPIP? Let's take a look at what it is and how you can pass it in 2022. All right, so if you want to pass the CELPIP in 2022, the most important thing to learn first is what the CELPIP is and how it works. Before we find out, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Okay, so what is the CELPIP? The CELPIP is the Canadian English Language Proficiency Index program. It's a test that allows you to demonstrate your English level for a range of purposes, including migration, studying at a university or college, or for citizenship. It's one of many tests you can take, but CELPIP focuses on Canadian culture and subjects. There are two versions of CELPIP you can take. There's the CELPIP General and CELPIP General LS. The CELPIP General tests you on all 4 language skills: reading, listening, speaking, and writing. And it's generally used for things like work visas, permanent residency, and university entrance. There's also the CELPIP General LS, which is just listening and speaking. And it's generally used for citizenship and some other professional opportunities. We highly recommend that when choosing which version you will take, be sure to check which one you'll need, as well as what score you'll need, as different institutions or organizations may have different requirements. How long does the CELPIP take? The CELPIP General test takes 3 hours. Listening takes from 47 to 55 minutes. Reading takes from 55 to 60 minutes. Writing takes 53 to 60 minutes. And speaking could take up from 15 to 20 minutes. The CELPIP General LS test is 1 hour and 10 minutes long. Listening is 47 to 55 minutes, and speaking 15 to 20 minutes. Be mindful of your time. The test duration of the session is the same for all the candidates. If you arrive late for your exam or you have to take a bathroom break, that time will be lost and won't be reinstated under any circumstance. Unlike other English exams, like IELTS for example, every CELPIP test is completed in one sitting. So, how is the CELPIP scored? In CELPIP listening, there is a practice task and 6 parts. Overall, CELPIP listening is scored out of 38 marks. In CELPIP reading, there is a practice task and 4 parts. Overall, CELPIP reading is scored out of 38 marks. Remember, if you are taking the CELPIP General LS, you will not need to complete the reading section. In CELPIP writing, there are 2 tasks that you will need to complete. And you are scored on 4 criteria: content and coherence, vocabulary, readability, and task fulfillment. Just like the reading section, if you are taking the CELPIP General LS, you will not need to complete the writing section. In CELPIP speaking, there is a practice task and there are 8 scored tasks. And you are scored on 4 criteria: content and coherence, vocabulary, listenability, and task fulfillment. Subscribe to this YouTube channel for more videos that go deeper into the CELPIP writing and speaking criteria, so you can pass the CELPIP test your first time. So now that you know all about CELPIP and the tasks you'll have to complete on test day, let's talk about achieving the scores you need. And this is where you need to be careful. The CELPIP converts your raw scores on the test into 12 different levels, with level 12 being the highest, but you may only need a 7 or 8. For example, the UBC School of Business, as of April 2022, requires a score of 7 in each part of the test. But you will need to check and double check what score you need from your university, college, or employer. And be sure to check directly with the institution by phone or by email. And be very careful where you check online. Some information may be out of date. So how do you achieve the scores that you need? Well, first you need to know which skills you need to improve in. Maybe you need to work on your writing skills, or maybe you're a bit concerned with your speaking. Whatever it is, you'll want to make sure that you've got the right support and the right habits to make sure you get the score you need. The best way to build up these habits is to set your CELPIP goals. Now, this is one of the biggest and perhaps most important things you can do to get your desired score on CELPIP. So the first thing you should do is download the E2 CELPIP 2022 Goal Setter from the description below for free. Here, you'll write down your daily and weekly goals, and then stick to them so you can achieve your main goal of passing the CELPIP. Now that you've got your goal sheet, let's add some activities to it that'll make sure you get the best possible results on test day. Let's start with some listening goals. If you want to work specifically on your listening, a great place to start is the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation news website. They have all kinds of great Canadian content. You can listen to the radio live or watch the National on cbc.ca or on YouTube. If you're worried about your listening, this is a great place to start. The news will have short sections of news, maybe 2 minutes long, and then it'll move on to another story. And often, these stories repeat throughout the week, so you'll encounter the same vocabulary again and again in different forms. Personally, I've studied a few languages, and I use this to improve not only my listening, but also my vocabulary and pronunciation. If your listening is pretty good, but you want to ensure a 12 in listening, check out some podcasts. Find something that interests you. But for my money, there's no better podcast than Everyday English with E2. On the goal setter sheet, in the daily listening section, write down, listen to English for 15 minutes a day. In the weekly section, write down, listen to the weekly Everyday English with E2 podcast. Or feel free to write down your own daily and weekly CELPIP listening goals. Let's set some reading goals. If you want to work specifically on your reading, the first question I would ask you is, how much English do you read? If you need to build your reading skills, once again, the news is a great place to start. Naturally, there are plenty of news websites online you can check out, but if you're in Canada already, head to your corner store and grab a copy of the Toronto Star or the Vancouver Sun or whatever the big newspaper is where you live. I do want to warn you, however, I'm from Vancouver, and there were always these free newspapers that you could find on the bus or on the SkyTrain, and these ones aren't as good. One article would be super easy to read, and then the next one's super hard to understand. The Sun or the Star, or if you're advanced, the Globe and Mail, have a consistent quality, and that will really help. On the goal setter sheet, write down this tip in the reading section. Read newspapers in English. Or feel free to write down your own daily and weekly CELPIP reading goal. Now let's set some goals for CELPIP speaking. If you want to work on your speaking, there are a few things to keep in mind. First, you want to make sure that you're confident that your speaking is where it needs to be. This could mean a few things. Are you using a wide range of vocabulary and grammar when you speak? And are they accurate enough to get the score you want? Also, are you saying these words correctly with correct pronunciation? And are you able to say them in a way that is persuasive or shows your attitude or opinion? Remember, it's not just about saying things grammatically correctly, it's about saying them in a way that is consistent with what you're trying to accomplish. If you're trying to give advice, it should sound like you're giving advice. If you're expressing your opinion, are you emphasizing the right words? At E2, we have a range of videos, activities, and mock tests that will help you get where you need to be, and we will provide feedback from our expert teachers so that you know what you need to do next. On the goal setter sheet, write down this tip. Get feedback from an English speaker, or from us here at E2 Test Prep. The more you get feedback, the faster you will improve. Feel free to write down your own CELPIP speaking goal. Let's set some goals for writing. If you want to work on your writing, you'll need to know what to do on test day, and you'll want to be sure that your writing is strong enough to get the score you need. If you're not sure that you're using a wide range of sentence structures and vocabulary, you'll want to practice and get feedback from an expert teacher and use our wide range of online resources. And of course, you'll want to know what kind of writing you'll be doing. There are 2 writing tasks, and you'll want to be familiar with both so that on test day, you don't have to try and remember what you're doing. You'll want to know exactly what to do so that you can focus on the ideas you want to express. Again, at E2, we've got lessons, practice tasks, and expert teachers who can give you great feedback. On the goal setter sheet, write down this tip. Complete a writing activity on E2 test prep once per day. If you do that, you'll be super familiar with the 2 CELPIP writing tasks. Once again, feel free to write down your own daily and weekly CELPIP writing goals. And that's it for your CELPIP goals. On test day, you'll want to be ready to answer a lot of questions, so you will definitely want to practice with the high quality materials that we have here at E2. At e2testprep.com, we have video lessons, classes, and mock tests where you can get familiar with each and every CELPIP task that you'll see on test day. My name is Mark, and good luck with the CELPIP.